Hello guys, and welcome back to our US History series here on Cerebri Learning. This week we'll be covering the lead up to the Second World War. It's the year 1918 and the Treaty of Versailles has just been signed. This made Germany lose a lot of territory, it forced it to pay heavy reparations, and it made it become a republic. The economy was doing horribly, and the beginning of the Great Depression only made it worse. These factors ultimately pushed people in Germany to polar radical ideologies, communism and Nazism. A man named Adolf Hitler, a former soldier, used these economic fears to gain power. His Nazi party, which was based on ultranationalism and anti-Semitism, started gaining power. He eventually was made chancellor and made Germany into a dictatorship. He began persecuting minorities and political prisoners, and pursuing an aggressive foreign policy of annexing Germany's neighbors. At the same time, in Italy to the south, another fascist gained power. Benito Mussolini was the leader of the fascist party, and after being named prime minister by the king, took power and he cracked down hard on his enemies. He formed an alliance with Hitler and Nazi Germany due to their similar ideologies. Meanwhile, across the world, in Asia, the Empire of Japan had been expanding across the Pacific, as well as in the regions of Korea and Manchuria. They were also fighting China as well. Japan wasn't accepted as an imperial power by Britain and France, and found Germany and Italy's similar militaristic society advantageous to ally with. And so these three countries formed an alliance that was known as the Axis powers. The Soviet Union was also in an uncertain state, with Stalin purging and starving millions, as well as having an imperialist attitude towards many of its neighbors like Finland and Poland. There was also increasing animosity between the communist Soviet Union and the other capitalist powers such as Britain and France. Germany began to become much more aggressive towards its neighbors. Many in countries like Britain even admired the fascists taking power in these two countries. Italy invaded the independent African nation of Ethiopia, and Germany began to blatantly violate the Treaty of Versailles by militarizing the Rhineland. They also found that the Western democracies were specifically avoiding confrontation, so they decided to see the limits that they could go. Germany first annexed the small nation of Austria. Hitler then wanted to annex part of the new nation of Czechoslovakia. The Allies eventually gave in and let him annex it. Many in Britain, such as Winston Churchill, believed in a firmer stance against Germany. The Prime Minister of the time, Neville Chamberlain, was confident that he had secured a peace with Germany. That wouldn't be, however, as Hitler eventually would annex the entire nation of Czechoslovakia. Germany signed the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact with the Soviet Union in 1939. This was a non-aggression pact, and it said that neither country could invade the other. This promise would eventually not be upheld. Later that year, both countries would invade Poland. The Allies finally declared war, and the deadliest conflict in history had begun. Stay tuned for next week's video, which will be about the early part of the war. We here at Cerebri Learning would like to thank you for watching this video. And if you like this, please check out some of our other content, like our physics series or some of our standalone videos. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and also be on the lookout for future series. Our full bibliography will also be in the description down below. We've included some other useful resources for those of you who'd like to learn more.